So just hey, welcome back. As you can see, I'm holding my Pentax 645N2. I just wanted to make this short video really to explain because I still get messages about why is it necessary or is it important to upgrade to the 645 original or the 645N or the N2. So I've owned both systems and I just wanted to really answer because I wouldn't say I receive everyday message, but I can have 2 messages in a week that talks about whether someone got the camera because they saw me taking pictures with this camera, or most of the time I have a lot of people asking me whether or not they should upgrade. So look, I just wanted to really explain to you why you might need to upgrade and why you don't have to upgrade. Because to make this short, they are all the same. What I mean by the same, the final images are the same. So now you know, you got the answer. If you want to stop watching the video, you can go. I just wanted to really make it clear. The images, the quality of the images are just the same. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching the video. It was a pleasure. No, I'm going to give you my opinion after almost a year of using this camera. All right, let's go, man. So first of all, I'm just going to start with the basic. Unfortunately, I cannot open the camera because I still have a film inside. But I'm just going to really explain to you the main differences with the Pentax. And again, I'm not really a guy that focuses on gear. I just wanted to really give you a practical understanding of each system. So the Pentax 645 is the first version of the Pentax. That was the one that I got when I first started in taking pictures with this system, the 645. That was the reason, that was the first version that I got. You might ask, why did I get the 645? Because I first started shooting with my first medium format camera was the Yashica 124G. I've shot incredible photo with that camera. The main reason I sold my first Yashica, it was just because I was not happy about the pictures, you know, and I really regret because I only shot, I think, 2 or 3 rolls, so that was a big mistake that I did, but that was a good camera. So after the Yashica, I got into the RB67. So just to say that the reason why I finally decided to keep the 645 or to try the 645, it's first of all, let's be honest, it's because I have 16 exposures when I shoot with this camera, and this is important to me. If I can have more exposure and I still keep that high resolution image because medium format is bigger than 35, you know, in terms of the negative are bigger, and also for a person like me that I print my work sometime like on really big size, it was important for me to just to boost to have a better quality than 35 mil, and I talked about this already on my previous video. And so yeah, anyway, it was just really important for me to have more exposure, so 16 is perfect. The reason why I didn't really like my 6x6, I only had 12 pictures, and also I was just experiencing the camera, experimenting. Oh man, the reason why I sold my honestly, the reason why I sold all my other cameras is because it was just so frustrated for me to spend like 15 bucks to buy a roll of film and to only have 10 images. And as I said, I was just really shooting for fun. I was just really shooting because I wanted to get familiar with the medium format. I was not shooting for any commercial or any client work because I shoot digital for my client work. So just to move back to the 645, man, I don't want this video to be really out of focus. I just wanted to say that this camera is great, especially the glass. Like, I love the glass of this camera, both of them. So the 645 and the 645N or the N2. So in term of glass, both of this, the 645N and the N2 and the original, in terms of glass, the glass is the same, so the lens are the same. I'm talking about this 75 f2.8. The only main difference is the autofocus, obviously. So this is the autofocus version. If you can see, and this autofocus really works really good. Like, I'm always a person that shoots manual focus, especially to have a camera like this that it's super bright inside. I cannot open this to show you, but so especially with the version of this prism, I think you have different versions with the focusing glass. I think that's how it's called. So this one here inside, it's a really clean. Like, honestly, it feels like a digital, like a Sony A7R or a Sony digital prism, and the viewfinder, it's really clean. So I've never really when I first grabbed this camera, it was not really important for me to use the autofocus, but I did a test one day and it's pretty accurate, but the results are just the same. I really want to make this clear. I want people to really get this. The 645 N2, which cost you can have this for $1,000, or you can have this for some time. If you have a chance, you can have this for less than $1,000. But you can also have, this can also be expensive sometime, like more than $1,000 too, which is unfortunately because film is getting so expensive now, and sometime, man, I don't know. So why I don't push people to buy this camera, it's because it's not worth it. It's not worth your money to pay almost triple the price, because the 645 original, you can find it for like $350 if you look on eBay or on one of those local stores in the country that you live in. You can find it for $250 in Japan. You can pay some custom fee, which will be approximately $350 in mint condition. So I would not really recommend anyone to, just for the sake of having a good looking camera, because I have to get a autofocus camera, I don't think it's a good investment. I'd rather you invest on getting a good lens, because this camera has also really good glass. So maybe it would be better for you to invest on buying, example, the 105 from the 6.7 plus the adapter. That can be a really good investment. Or you can even buy the macro version. There is also a 100 or 120 macro of this lens, which is really, really good. So, but if you're a person that wants to, example, if you have the money to, if you don't mind paying 2 times the money, the reason why this camera, this particular model here, the 645N2 and the 645N also looks the same. Like, I've never had it in my hand, but I saw some pictures. It looks pretty much the same. Like, everything looks the same. I've never used it, I'm just saying, but I think it looks the same. Why you would have maybe considered getting this one? Because first of all, the build quality obviously is best than the 645. It's still plastic. I don't know what material is here, but this is, if I drop this camera, I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to drop it. I'm just saying, if this happens to me, I drop this camera, I'm not going to freak out for many reasons, because the plastic, as I said, it's really robust. It feels good in my hand. I have a really big hand. I don't know how I can compare this, but I can grab a big ball of basketball in my hand. So to have a big hand like this, it's really important to to make sure that you have a camera that fits into your hand, because sometimes you'll be having, like I use my Sony A7R sometime and I feel like it's too small, like my hand is way too big. But this one, as you can see, it feels good. Like my hand is bigger than this camera, as you can see, but when I grab this here, it feels good. It feels like a giant SLR. You know, like I'm not, like when I used to use my TLR camera, like my 6x6 or my RB67, it was interesting to have a level, how do you call it? The west level viewfinder, you know, and also the tricky side of left going right. It was interesting, but sometimes if you want to composite, for your composition, it just took me so much time to really nail the focus. And also, I see this a lot of people still have the hard time to nail the composition. You always have that much space on top of the picture, which was really hard for me to, you know, just to get. So having this camera, I can see exactly the composition of my shot is going to be. I said I was not going to do a long video. I think this video is becoming long now. So just to finish, honestly, to finish, I'm just going to say this. Let me just drink my tea first. So to finish, I don't know how long is this video now. I'm just going to say this. The 645N from Pentax is a camera that when I first wanted to get the 645 in the 645 system, obviously I saw the Mamiya 645. You have so many versions. I was so confused. I was like, I don't want to understand what's the 645 DF or IFD or 1000 TL or 1000 Pro. There was just so many versions of the Mamiya 645 system, which I just didn't want to spend my time to understand which one was doing what. For those that follow me on Instagram, you will notice something. I'm always trying to tell a story when I take pictures. I still sometimes just take pictures because I want to test out a new film, or I want to experiment, like push or pull or anything about film. But most of the time, the reason why I ended up with the 645, it's because, as I said, it gives me 16 exposures, but also it suits my style. You know, like I liked having a camera that feels like this. I'm going to try out the 6.7 by Pentax next week because I also like the way it feels. But yeah, just to have 10 pictures, it's just a lot for me to lose 16 exposure versus 10, you know, even though I know the 6.7 has, you know, the big reputation of having a good glass and resolution. The quality, I mean, is good. But I just wanted to say that you need to find really what type of storytelling you're going to have to finish the video. I just want to say that. You need to find your style. And please do not focus on gears. It's good to understand which gear will do what, or what gear is the best for your style. But there is no a camera that will be best for everything. It's impossible. If I'm shooting with the Contax example, the Contax 645 with the beautiful 80 millimeter Zeiss lens, that is a good camera, but you know what's happening with that camera. Sometimes it would just stop working. Same with the Mamiya RZ. Shout out to my friend Vince. I love the Mamiya RZ, but I'm just like, something can happen with the electronic side. I don't know. You know, I don't. And same with this camera is also electronic, but I just want to have a camera that is reliable. This camera, I feel like I can rely on this camera. There is no way this camera would just stop working. I have not seen any 645N or 645 Pentax talking about this camera just stopped working. You know, this is not the best glass in the world, but this is sharp enough for me to be taking pictures like this. So to finish, please find your style, find what defines you, and don't fall into the equipment, because film, unfortunately, these days it's costing a lot. When I'm looking at like the Mamiya 7, the Mamiya 7 II, when I see sometimes the prices are like 3,000 or 4,000 for the Pentax, I'm just like, it doesn't make sense, you know. So please save some money. Do not upgrade to the 645N2 just because it has autofocus. You can still nail the focus with the manual focus glass. Honestly, if I would have to sell this glass to get the manual glass, I would do it. I would not even think twice, because again, it's just the same glass. It's just the same. Please save some money. Thank you, and see you next time. That was a pleasure. Oh man, this video was too long. I don't know how many minutes it's gonna be. This is a good tea. I've actually never tried it. I should get this more. Okay.